saying good morning and welcome back to Daybreak Africa. If you just tuned in, Richie for CJ saying Ondo City, I'm Ezekiel. Okay. This morning we'll be talking on online education effects on learning. It's more like the issue of online or e-learning actually came to place during the COVID-19 era, but somehow I think it actually came to stay for a while, I mean, for a long while. And in the house to discuss this, an IT operator and person of Ayorinde Faith. What's the work on Daybreak Africa?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
So, like I said earlier, it's more like e-learning actually. We know it has been in existence, but maybe not in the way it was during 2020. And then it's more like afterwards, people tend to adopt it. What's your take general on e-learning in Nigeria? How effective has it been?
It has been effective over time since 2020, like you said. But even before then, it has not been that, known.
Rampant, yeah.
It has not been that known, rampant by people, but some few people had actually made a very good use of the internet, learning and earning. Because when you go online, there is a lot of things you can learn that you can, put to use and start making money. And even apart from making money, things that can add to your knowledge online. And since 2020, more people have been able to know about the internet, learning things online. You don't have to go go to school or do this thing before you can learn something. You can actually just go online and learn whatever you want online.
I think one of the basic challenge persons had with the issue of e-learning was communicative skill. We believe the group learning and all that helps to develop one's communicative skill. But if I'm to stay at home and just vet my eye on my screen, how does that really help me as a person develop? I mean, education has to be all round, not just the intelligence or the being a bookworm. How do you think this actually helps in?
So I think the two together would actually help. Because there's this saying that when you want to go fast, you walk alone. And when you want to go far, you walk with people. So you learning with people around you would actually help you go far, because there are some things that you might not really know. Sharing your knowledge with somebody else, will help you go farther than what you can actually achieve on your own. But going online, because when you have people around you, distraction tends to set in. You understand? So, but when you're alone at home, you can actually focus on whatever you're learning alone, and it helps you to understand what you want to learn faster. You understand? Because going online, and most of the times online, it's fun because there are visuals. It's like you're doing practical, but you're just at home. You understand? You're just on your phone. Where you can see when they talk about something, you see a visual of that thing. You see, you see probably a clip of how the thing works and all that. So e-learning is actually very good, because you can cover a lot in just a twinkle of an eye.
Well, if you tend to speak to some individuals, they'll tell you that e-learning and physical learning are quite the same thing. It's just that e-learning, you get to sit and just face your computer, while physical learning, you have to sit in front of somebody while the person tutor you. And you see so many activities take part in this e-learning, as we know. When you talk about group meeting people, and there are so many platforms where you meet people as well, and you're still learning, and you can even tend to even reach out to specific professors, or depending on the field you're working on at a particular time. But right now, how will you differentiate e-learning and physical learning in your own terms?
So e-learning and physical learning, they have their own good side. They have their own good side, and they have their bad side. They have their own advantage and disadvantages. You understand? So physical learning, like I said earlier, you tend to share knowledge. You can ask from somebody if you don't get a particular thing. You understand? You at the moment when you're getting confused about a particular topic or a particular subject,
yes, okay,
you can ask from somebody. You can share idea. You can even teach. They say by teaching sometimes you learn more Yeah, so you can teach somebody, you can there's this interaction, and most times it doesn't make learning boring. You understand? When you learn with people around you, it does not make learning boring. At least you learn, and everybody tends to share the idea and all that. But physical e-learning,
E-learning.
you tend to stay at home. Sometimes it might boring. You might go through 1 2 chapters and be like, okay, let me just drop it and come back later.
Yeah.
Or sometimes messages might pop up, probably on Facebook, WhatsApp, the internet. If you're not that focused, you would
Your
actually lose
attention might be
focus,
divided.
because distractions can come in from any of this. But e-learning is actually very good because you can go online and search for anything and it will bring it out immediately. You can search for anything, you can see people's, different people's opinion, because whatever it is that you want to go online to search for, probably
People
2
have
3
already
4
done
5 6
researches.
people have done videos concerning that thing. So you can see how different people from across the world, their point of view on that particular topic or subject.
I guess the issue, like you said, the challenge, staying motivated. How would one actually come against that challenge, that difficulty of staying motivated? Just like you said, you could be on your screen and then message pops in, or maybe you could get tired even as student. I mean, even as student, we got tired at some point, even going to classes. So how will I actually get motivated staying at my screen? Is there maybe something I could do?
Yeah, so one is you have to know what you want to do. Like that's the key. That's the key. That's the key thing in whatever you somebody wants to do in life. You have to know that, okay, I'm going online to learn for a reason. There's something I want to achieve at the end of the day. If you don't have that motivation, you might be on YouTube, getting tutorial videos, and a moment you see a pop-up, and from there you go to
Just
comedy
divert.
video, and from there you start going to comedy video, dance video, and all that. But if you actually know what you want to do, what you want to learn, what you want to achieve, you understand, you concentrate more. Even when you're tired, sometimes you might take a break. But you come back and continue whatever it is that you want to that you're learning online. And most times when you're learning online, it's good to practice. You understand? Because learning online without practicing, might be so difficult. So once you learn a thing online, try to practice it. It will motivate you to come back and learn something more.
So how effective is e-learning, I mean, in Nigeria today, considering the point where we are currently, where you see so many individuals trying to get into one course or the other and trying to finish this and that?
Yeah, so e-learning is very, very effective now. Most people, learn whatever they know now online. Most of the things they know online. Even in the university, you see students go online to learn on their own. Because seriously, what they get from their lecturers is barely enough. Because most times lecturers will teach you based on what they were taught during their time, and the world is revolving. You need to be online to know what is going on at the moment. You understand? So that's e-learning is very, very effective. I take it back to the children while they are growing up. You notice that children that watch more of cartoon and they have access to internet to browse, they get brighter than children that just go to class, go to school, and learn their normal 1 2 3.
But if I may ask, why is that? I mean, you just want to think that the ones who are in class are the serious ones and they're the ones who are supposed to learn more.
No, I'm not saying.
I'm just asking why actually is that currently occurring in our society. Just like you said, there are some children who, or more like the children who tend to be exposed more to most of these technologies and online activities tend to be much more smarter. So why is this?
Yeah, most times in the school, elementary school, the teachers, most of the teachers, they are this employees.
Yeah.
that has taught, tutored maybe 2, 3, 4 sets of pupils, and at the end of the day, they kind of see it as a daily activity. It's something that, okay, we'll just teach these people ABC, they will go and that's it will come. At the end of the day, I'm collecting my salary.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, you understand? Everybody's winning. You understand? So most times they don't really take it like, like every child is special, every child is, I have to put in more energy. It's like a daily routine, and when anything is a daily routine, it tends to lose its value over time. But when you see children who have access to the internet, they go online, they see new things, they see the way the videos they see accompanied with music, songs and all that, seeing somebody like a clown, you understand? Things like that tend to stick to their brain more than just going to school and probably the teacher pointing to the board and saying A, B, C. You understand? So because sometimes you notice that you probably you play a video, maybe a cartoon, or this 1, 2, 3 cartoon, and you see a 1-year-old, 2-year-old boy or girl singing along word for word. You understand? So things like that stick more. So when you go online, you find things that are interesting. You find learning. Learning is interesting online because the way you see with pictures, when you have somebody's talking about something, you have the picture, you have people operating it, you tend to understand more. You understand? It's like your sin is like like I said earlier,
They're
it's like
showing it to you.
Exactly, it's like you're practicalizing it. It's like you're there while somebody else is practicalizing, having practice on it. So it gives you more understanding of whatever it is that you're being taught, or whatever it is that you're learning. You understand?
I think I tend to actually find challenges to lack of high-speed internet access, especially in Nigeria. Now, ever since the adoption of full adoption, I think I should use that word, full adoption of e-learning, what's your take on the lack of easy access to internet? Let's be honest, even with our phones at times, we find it difficult to have simple connections. Yes, so, and of course, we have rural areas in Nigeria and all that. So, with that challenge, how do you think one will be able to maneuver?
It's a little bit difficult to get over that challenge because this part is not on the part of the individual. It's something that that's what we get, and we have to work. We have to make use of whatever we have, whatever is available, and it's actually challenging because sometimes you want to learn something and the network is very bad, and at the end of the day you find out that your data has been exhausted even without you doing something, going far or going getting much to learn online, and it's actually difficult. It's unlike outside where they have free, you just have to subscribe for a month. They have unlimited for that month. You understand? You can do whatever you want, browse on whatever you want, and it's not, you have to pay for every single kilobyte or bit, or you understand? You have to pay for every single bit, and at the end of the day, it's like it's not even it's not even enough. It's not even enough because the tariff gets higher and higher every day, and so it's a little bit challenging. But yet, if you know what you want to do with the data that you're purchasing, at least you would find your way.
But personally, do you think this e-learning thing has really come to stay, or you just think it's more like an option where whenever an open cadre is not an option, we just offer e-learning, or do you actually see it coming to stay? Notwithstanding the issue of lack of resources and support.
Yes, I think it has come to stay because you will find out that now people doing fashion design, they go to YouTube to post their YouTube, learn how to do this, learn how to do that. There's basically nothing you want to learn you want to learn about now that you cannot get. Learn how to do simple things at home that that will help you get some jobs done easily. Like like a video I saw some days ago. A way to things that we get that gets difficult sometimes. Things that we don't. It gets difficult to do. Bringing maybe a tissue paper, a stick, and you understand. So people post a lot of things online now. Even how to weave, how to do anything. So I think it has come to stay, because if you're a fashion designer, if you're an hairdresser, you have to go online, because styles come out every day. And if your customer comes to meet you, I want this, I want that, you have to go online to go and learn. Because from the day that you learned fashion design, or hairstylist, the styles that were trending then has gone.
Different.
So this is not just in the area of this normal education pattern we know, but education like all round. You understand?
During the era of COVID-19, I noticed some institutions, high institutions actually had difficulty having this e-learning system, even for high institutions, universities, polytechnics, and colleges. And I noticed in your statement, you're trying to make it look like an individual decision to, quest to want to move forward and all that. Do you think there should be probably organization, or say what the government could do differently to enable online education in the country or some sort?
So at
Or
that
even try
time,
to even imbibe it in our already existing form of education.
Yes.
yeah. So at that time, during the COVID-19, like you said, universities were having difficulties. Some universities tried to, organize some online lectures,
classes.
and most of these lectures did not go on well. When you want to start something new, it is expected that at first it does not go like as planned. And some people, obviously it's just starting, some people will make fun of it. Some people will just go, some people will not even they will not even participate. Some people will not participate. But as time goes on, when people start seeing the need for it, for instance, now, if you know that if you're missing a particular video, or a particular class online, you have something to lose over it. You understand, like a mark or something. Lecturers, they have their ways of doing things like that. If you have something to lose, you would actually come online and learn, especially when you know that whatever you're learning during the class online, is going to be very, very useful. Probably during exams or tests. So I think that if it goes on, and there are appropriate measures are being taken, appropriate measure takes place, you understand, people will start learning how to make good use of the internet, the e-learning platform.
Now, one of the challenges of the e-learning platform I tend to actually consider most is the issue of time consumption. People tend to believe e-learning tends to consume more time than on-campus learning. How true is that?
No.
On-campus learning, there are time limit for everything. So
Yes.
40 minutes,
2 hours,
30
and all
minutes,
that.
yeah.
And they give you time for yourself to clear your head or steam it if you have to. But when it comes to e-learning, it's more like a 3 hour stretch, and sometimes you get so discouraged that you want to go back. But unlike on campus learning, where you get discouraged, but maybe after an hour or two, you're back to yourself and you get motivated and continue. What's your take on this school of thought?
Yes, like you said, there are some videos that take 14, 15 minutes, depending on whatever you want to learn. Like, probably coding would take a longer time than maybe something simpler like fashion design. But for you going to, you that you want to learn a particular thing, you know what you want to use it for. So it's a thing that you're the one in charge of the timing now. If you're going online, probably you're the only one with your screen. You're the one to determine that, okay, I'll be online for 3 hours. Even if the video is not over yet, I would pause it, take a little break, then come back. And again, e-learning, when you're at home learning online, you can have your drink beside you. You can have you can have something to refresh yourself even while learning. Unlike on campus you can't eat while learning because
it's more like you're having an undivided attention. Isn't that supposed to be a good thing?
It's like you're disrespecting the lecturer or the person standing in front of you. When you have the lecturer teaching you standing, you're sitting, and you're drinking, you're eating. It looks, it does not look proper. It does not look appropriate. But when you're alone at home, you might lie down, you might change position. So I think e-learning might take more time, but you have the freedom to to change your position. You have the freedom to make it easier for yourself, whichever way you would like to.
Well, like we have different individuals, and again, not everything that works for one person works for the other person. So I want to know, from your own perspective, or how you've seen and noticed things so far, do you think that e-learning are meant for certain, or it's, let's say, favorable for certain group of individuals, while the manual learning is good for certain other individuals?
So maybe individuals with issue of autism, health issue or something.
Yeah.
I think some people would perform better with e-learning. They can learn faster, while some people need somebody to be by their side, to put them through. This is how it is. Even once, twice, 3 times, you understand. Some people they have this kind of, they don't catch things fast. They don't catch things easily. They don't catch things fast. So that's why it's good to have both, side by side. Go online. Probably after you've gone to class, you've learned 1 or 2 things. Go online and learn. Again, that's how it works perfectly. But for those that does not catch things fast, for those that maybe gets tired on screen, I think there's nothing you can get used to over time. Our body is designed to get used to whatever we expose it to over time. So there's nothing like, okay, I get bored when there's just one person in front of me in the screen saying just talking and talking and talking. You understand? When you start getting, when you start exposing yourself to that type of learning, when you start trying to get used to it, with time it gets easier. You understand? It gets easier with time. You get more comfortable in that pattern of learning.
So I remember some time ago when I was still in school, I came to school with this high motivation. Everybody came into university with that motivation, wanting to do well and all that. But it came to a point where my personal motivation failed me. I must attest. It was it's more like I was a fellow of this group that actually says school is scam. Yes, I was more like a financial secretary at that point. I was more like the vocal advocate, and it was more like I forgot all about my dreams that actually brought me in. And I believe it happens to everyone, to every human. Come points where you feel discouraged, comes points where you just want to procrastinate. And I think the issue of e-learning will give room for procrastination and this sense of isolation.
Yes.
Because, believe it or not, you still need people to want to,
with the fact that you're doing that in
like
your comfort zone.
Exactly. Don't you think this actually tend to hamper issue of e-learning, and for people actually come against it, it's more like a justifiable means.
Yeah, so that's why earlier I said that they both have their advantage and disadvantage.
Don't you think e-learning has more disadvantage?
I don't think e-learning has more disadvantages
Okay.
because e-learning is wild. Now, if you're learning online, now it depends on you. Although a lot of people, they've started courses, they've gone through courses online. At the end of the day, they didn't end it
And it's, yes.
because at the end of the day, you get tired. Like you
Of
said,
course.
you will not get motivated.
Mm.
But when you have people around you, you
Get
tend
motivated.
to keep moving, even when you don't want to. Well, I feel if you really know what you want to do, especially when you're going through the normal schooling, the normal physical
Full-time,
learning,
yeah.
you have to back it up with internet because nobody will teach you everything. Nobody will tell you everything. Nobody will tell you everything. You have to go
By
online
yourself.
by yourself to learn. That's how learning sticks. Because if you're only waiting for what somebody will come and tell you physically to learn, then it's not enough. So you have to go online to scout for more knowledge, search for more knowledge and get more knowledge. And you can't just get if you're not going on if you're not going online, if you want to look for knowledge physically, reading books or it will tire you. You understand? You get tired easily. So online you can be eating. You can be eating and at the same time you're going through a video, So internet, it has advantage, it has disadvantage, but I don't think the disadvantages are more than the advantages.
Now, in Nigeria, we have situations. I came across someone who actually studied computer sciences, and this person in Princeton actually passed through primary school and secondary school without actually sitting an eye on a computer set before talk more or less. Then you touching the keyboard and you were looking at the screen, and yet the person studied computer sciences at the end. Now, I understand our educational infrastructure is quite questioning at some point and all that. How do you think this will help the issue of online learning? Talking about the inabilities of probably the teacher at some points, not really understanding the search engine processes in e-learning, and then how much more on the students. So how do you think one could actually promote e-learning considering these structural challenges, or should I say foundational challenges already laid?
Yes. So it's a good thing that nowadays there is more access than while we were still very young. Then you have to see a system, a computer, before you can access internet. But nowadays phones are everywhere. You can access internet anywhere. You understand? So now it's easier to access the internet. Although while in my secondary school, we had a lot of computer classes and all that without visiting the lab. And the lab was there. It was equipped, but we never went there. They never took us there. Our labs were dead to us. You understand? So I think that we should try to make these things, because I've not been abroad, but at least I've watched one or two American movies, and I see there are some movies that you watch, all this elementary school, when they do their computer classes, when they are in their computer classes, they all have access to computers. When they do their practicals, they have access to whatever it is that they are practicalizing, that they want to practicalize on. You understand? They have access to whatever it is. So I think that we should try to make these things available. We should try to, our teachers should try to make students familiar with the internet, with the system, typing. These are skills that one should have from a very tender age, and at the end of the day, when you grow up with these skills, they get better. One get better at it. So I think that our teachers should make more efforts to familiarize pupils on.
Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It has been very educative. Thank you once again. Well, to our viewers, I hope you've been able to pick one or two. And just like you said, and just like I stated initially, that there are different people to different styles. Some people might be meant for e-learning, while some might prefer manual learning. Each way, you have to just be concentrated in order to get your focus. That is the paramount thing. Thank you once again for joining us on this episode of Daybreak Africa. And right now, we'll be handing you over to our Lagos station. Please do stay tuned while I sign out. I am Angela Daku.
Our presenter today, I remain Ezekiel.
Bye.